Today I'm going to be doing something kind of different. Most of you know I started my career on a website called Wattpad. I try not to talk about myself as much as possible, so I never explain what I'm doing. But it occurred to me that a lot of you guys that follow me don't know what exactly I do every day. Sometimes it looks like I'm not doing anything when in reality I'm planning or organizing or other stuff. So I decided to make a video all about everything on my Wattpads. I have 3 profiles and I'm going to talk about what I do every day to maybe give you guys some ideas on how to manage your own accounts. Let's get into it. So let's start with the main profile, obviously. This is Jane_Conquest. I started it back in 2013. A lot of you guys love to point out the fact that my main profile only has 5,800 followers while my backup profile has almost 100,000. It's mainly because my backup profile has way more books. The main one only has 8, but the backup has 50. And also, people like books that require a short attention span, like quotes and zodiac signs. But back to the main profile. So it only has 8 books because these are all full-length novels I'm working on or have completed. Since I do all my writing outside of Wattpad, I don't spend a lot of time on this profile. I'm not very active, which is another reason why my backup is so much more popular. So I really only go on this main account to upload stuff I've written or announce projects and stuff like that. I do have, legit books posted to my backup account, but the difference is the ones on my main are super dark or not appropriate for a younger audience because I do have a lot of kid followers on JCB. But a fun thing on my main account is that I do follow people I don't on my other accounts. I usually follow people that have shown me a lot of support or other authors I really admire. So yeah, that's me in the profile picture, and I designed the banners myself. I'm going to move on to my third account since my backup will take up most of the time. This third account is a recent addition. I started it on New Year's. I was taking so many pictures that I knew I didn't have enough room for them on my backup account. So I started a photography account. I usually just take pictures with my phone, but I like it, especially taking pictures of the sky, which is why the only book I have so far is sky photography. Yeah, this account's still small because it's new, but now, what you've all been waiting for, JCB. This account is insane. I barely even know where to start. So I started it about 2 years after I started my main when I only had about a couple hundred followers. And I posted this book, Zodiac Signs, and that's when my stuff really started to take off. I started posting more books and now I have 11 books with over 1 million views. And I don't get paid for it. Wattpad doesn't pay me a single cent. And people shit on me, They're like, you're not a real author. These books take no time to make. But they're wrong. And I'm going to explain why, because it takes so much more work than people think. And it takes a lot out of me to ignore those people that criticize me. So hopefully this video will help people understand how much fucking work I put into this profile. It's they're a lot more than just joke books, Let's start with the theme. Here's my key here and my calendar. Each dot represents a book I update. So for books with under 1 million views, I update 2 chapters every dot. And for books with over 1 million views, I update 1 chapter per dot. I developed a system where I retire books for a few months and then bring them back after I've given some other books a chance to be worked on. Last year, I tried balancing all of my books, updating all of my books at once, and that was just too much. So I developed these intervals. Over the summer, I retire my books with over 1 million views because that's when more people are on. So I want to shift the attention to my less popular books. And what I do in order to keep books updating year round is I recycle chapters. So first, I organize the chapters by amount of votes. Wattpad has this thing called votes. They're basically like lights. They're this little star here. This is my book text, and you can see the chapters are organized by most amount of votes to least amount of votes. That way I can recycle the chapters with the least amount of votes so I know which ones people don't like. So I unpublish the 20 least popular chapters and replace them with fresher content. So it leaves the previous amount of votes and then people vote on top of that. Does that make sense? And when I retire a book, I let it go to chapter 200 because that's the maximum amount of chapters you can have on Wattpad. And then I leave it finished until the next interval when I start recycling chapters again. This is my book updating schedule and theme, where I post all my calendars and keys for you guys. I also keep track of my accomplishments here. You can see how high this book's been ranked on the charts and when the chapter was last updated. Every year I sit down and calculate how many views, votes, and comments I've received per book. That takes like at least a week to do, and it requires a ton of math. And I really don't do it to brag, it's more for me to keep track and to see if what I'm doing is working. So in addition to all of that, I need to plan out my books. So I spend a lot of time creating chapters and saving them as drafts. Like if you see here, I'm going to update this book with drafts I've already previously made. So even if it looks like I'm not doing anything, I'm probably planning out future chapters. Currently, these are the top spots in the random genre, and my books dominate this category a lot. Tons of people ask me about the celebrities on my covers. They're pretty much, random, but they're all my favorite celebrities. I figured out a way where I can paint in the background on a drawing app, so I spent a lot of time on these covers as well. People just think I use like stickers or something, but no. I do hand draw in the backgrounds. I think it looks the best. And I have OCD, so if the color is even a little bit off than the one that's like on the key, I have to start all over again. And also because I have OCD, it makes it really hard to manage all these profiles because I'm constantly micromanaging stuff. I'm learning to train myself to be less compulsive, doing things like letting my books stay out of order because I've got the theme, but I just let them get all jumbled up because if I kept organizing them, I'd have to organize them every day since I update my books every day, and that would take up like a ton of time. I also made a whole new batch of covers for April Fool's Day, which took like 2 hours, but it was worth it because the really small pictures tripped everyone out. I also make a one-day batch of covers for my birthday, so another thing I do are these things I call Easter eggs. So I put a picture of myself in the back of every book that I retire. I have a key here in my updating book. All these pictures of me are at the ends of my books. A lot of people ask me what I look like, so this is sort of a way to keep in touch with my readers, but the problem is my appearance changes a lot, so I'm constantly having to update the pictures. And when I add new books, I have to shift all the pictures down or up one by one. It's kind of hard to explain. Basically, it's a lot more work than it should be, but I like it. It's fun, and it's part of what makes my profile unique. Also on my backup profile are my comics. I do draw comics, and they look simple, but I actually spend tons of time on them. I have 2 full-length comics, and I've just started on the 3rd. And on top of that, I have 2 novels published to my backup profile. Both are completed. See Her is my most popular novel on any of the profiles. And so I've decided to get it published. Surprise! What was that? I'll link it down below where you can get it on Amazon when it is eventually up. I'm still working on it, like I said, micromanaging. So I suggest you read it for free while you can. I'll put the free link there, but that will eventually turn into a teaser once I put the full thing up on Amazon. Oh, and also, all of my books are different, so some take a lot more time to update than others. Like, Tumblr Post is just throwing a screenshot and adding a caption, but books like Wattpad Clichés require time and research, and a lot of thought goes into my books, especially since Wattpad Clichés is one of my more popular books, so I have a bigger audience to cater to, and I don't want to disappoint you guys. I also take a monthly view count where I organize my books by most to least popular, just to keep a record of my journey, but again, I'm doing all of this shit by myself. Nobody else helps me. And then I have to plan out future books and when I'll be dropping them, and then I have to plan out future calendars to accommodate for those future books. I drop a new book on the 1st of every month, sometimes more depending on how many books I retire, and then I have to update the key, and it's just like so disrespectful, I have people spamming my inbox and my message board begging me for shout outs, and they're like trying to cheat me or like use my success to boost theirs when I've worked so hard to build this all on my own. You can't copy me either and expect to become famous. You need to forge your own path just like I did. There's no way around it. I'm sorry, but like, that's the only way. You have to be original and creative, and you can't give up. I've seen so many authors' careers cut short because they gave up because they didn't get immediate results or something. So the important thing is to just keep at it. I was on Wattpad for 2 years before I broke 200 followers, and now I have almost 100,000. So many people ask me, how do you do it? And I always answer, I worked hard and I earned it. I'm still working hard. And for the millionth time, I don't think I'm famous. I'm not getting stopped on the street. I've only been recognized by a fan once. So here I am, and also nobody around me cares. Literally nobody in my life reads my work or even knows what Wattpad is. So I'm basically doing this for an entirely invisible audience. But I'm gonna keep doing it because this is what I love. Wattpad kickstarted my career. It currently is my career. And I can't thank you guys enough for continuing to support me. I'm so glad and so lucky that I found a community of people who still love to read and write and create, because that's what I love. I put up with a lot of bullshit on Wattpad, but you know, at the end of the day, it's worth it. And that is all about my Wattpad. I probably even forgot some of the stuff I do, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Today's shout out goes again to my book, See Her. Go read it for free while you can, and then it'll be available to buy on Amazon. Like I said, I don't make any money off of Wattpad, so it would be great if you guys could go and support me there when it's up. Leave me a comment with some feedback, and if you want to see more videos like this, I love hearing from you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Here's a little bonus video for you. This is how many freaking notifications I got while I was filming this freaking video. So I get hella notifications. Sorry if I don't see them all. Check them out. They just come on in all the time, every day. And then I also get so many fucking messages. Look at how many I just got today. Like, y'all, that's crazy. I get so freaking many. So like, sorry if I don't respond, but like, it's a lot.